All right, we are back. A show prediction party part one. This is literally just the beginning of the deluge of content you get from us this week, but also just like it's a lot of stuff going on. This is just part one. So part two is even going to be crazier. That's going to come out kind of right after this, probably the day after.
Next episode, unless you're on Patreon, which you can get it all when you
Yeah,
get, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So definitely sign up to the Patreon if you want it all early. But yeah, predictions, man. Night one, night two. They announced it. They announced what's going to be on what night, which is big.
Yes. Let me bring that up. They announced it on SmackDown, which I think is cool. I like that. Because the thing is, we was waiting. You know what I'm saying? We was always waiting all the way up to like literally Friday. Remember they would just do it on first take.
It was like, yeah, they used to, but then they had to make me wait right before Randy Orton and LA Knight versus Solo in Tamatonka. I'm just like, you made me wait 2 3/4 hours for this shit.
I mean, come on now. It's to keep you hooked in and keep you watching. But I mean, they put it right on the Instagram right after, so that was cool too. But we had a match that we had up here first, and that was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. As of right now, it's rumored that Randy will have an opponent, but no one's saying who it is. There is a glaring missing spot on night two where this was originally supposed to go. And could there be a segment, Meelz? Do you think that Randy will be on the show? Will he be doing something? What do you think?
I think it'll be a segment.
Yeah.
Have we got Snoop Dogg confirmed yet? I
No.
feel like WrestleMania.
Having Randy and be like,
perfect.
yeah.
The new people in this game, you know what I'm saying? It's Snoop Dogg. So I think we need to figure out the Snoop Dogg integration with Randy Orton. If Randy Orton's not on this card, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, to be honest with you.
I'm not complaining. I'm not whining about that. You know what I'm saying?
You can still have a moment. I think they want to have the moment with the entrance and do all the other stuff like that, which is very much still in play if you want to do that. But I don't know if it needs.
Not necessary.
Point. People will complain. You could have added the Women's United States Championship on this card. Oh wow!
Let them have let the women be in the Andre.
Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega should have been on this card.
Let them be in the Andre. I think that's how you make everybody happy.
You think Randy's gonna come out and do the Lashley?
Yeah. It's the one title he hasn't won.
Just do the Lashley. That's crazy. If I'm Randy and they put me in on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I don't want to win it. I'll be the last.
I think Randy's just having fun. He's doing side quests at this point. I think that whatever they do, it would be a shock or surprise to anyone. But I also feel like there's not going to be much of a surprise. It's probably going to be R-Truth coming out or something like that, and then getting RKO'd or something. So who knows? We'll see. But for matches that are confirmed on this, we have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. One of the few matches on this card that has a stipulation, which I've noticed they've been a lot more subdued with stipulations. I think there was only like one last year, and that was the Philly street fight with 4K versus the Negro group with Bobby Lashley. I forgot what they were called. Was it the Pride?
The Pride, yes.
Yeah, it was the Pride. It was 4K versus the Pride. The Negro group.
The Negro League, man.
The Negro League. The Negro League. What do you think? I mentioned this earlier in the show. This has been a year-long story. We'll talk about my alleged hypotheticals of why this match is happening the way that it's happening and what caused it to be this later on in the show when we talk about the main events. But what have you thought about all of this? Damian Priest, one of the few booked strongly people on the show, like he never loses, like he never looks bad, never looks stupid, going up against Drew McIntyre, who I feel as though sorely needs a win. What do you think?
I do think Drew needs to win, especially at WrestleMania. And the past couple of years, he just hasn't had that win. Especially, I think 37. I think he loses against Bobby. 38. I forgot what he did. I think he beat up
He beat Baron Corbin. He beat Baron Corbin.
And then 39, he lost to Gunther. 40, loses the world.
One
Won it, but then lost it.
Yeah.
Um, I think Damian Priest has cooled off a little bit just from SmackDown.
It's SmackDown. It's
Yeah.
SmackDown's blue. You're cooled off, bruh.
Yeah. So I think he's cooled off a little bit, so he can probably take the L. But I see both of these guys as upcoming contenders for the WWE Championship at some point during this year. So I just see Drew probably first, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just think that any any avenue where Damian goes into that show and he's not immediately next to a Roman or a Cody or whatever was a big mistake.
Yeah.
You're putting him against Nakamura. You put that was not the caliber of wrestler he was facing before he left Raw. You know what I mean? Like he was facing off against Gunther and Jay and all these other people. He was not facing off against fucking yeah. Like it just I have no clue what they were doing, but I'll trust the process. I do think that booking and creative and Triple H, they do love Damian. It's just gonna be tough to find that spot, and hopefully it opens up a little bit after the smoke is cleared after this weekend.
Absolutely. But I'm picking Drew.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna pick Drew as well. I think it's just time. I think there's no one most weeks that's better on the mic than him. There's nobody most weeks that's having better matches than him. He shows up, he does what he has to do. Um, do something with this guy, man. Just do something. I don't see money in the bank again for him. But I would love to see a title run for him this year, at least a short one.
I agree. I agree. What do we got next?
We have up next LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. This is happening on night one, by the way. The previous match we talked about is night two. Night one, Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, and for the US title.
Oof. I mean,
Here's my thing.
I didn't think. Can I say one thing? I
Yeah,
didn't think Fatu would be on this card over Solo Sikoa.
that's crazy to me. Yeah.
That is nuts.
The Solo Sikoa fall off has to be studied.
Yeah, because he's never had a WrestleMania match.
Yeah. Ever.
I think it was the hottest thing for the entire year. Well,
But we knew, and we had been predicting it on this show, on this very show, that like it didn't feel like it was the right time to pull the trigger on the turn between Solo and Jacob. Like it was just
right.
there was no time for them to do that, for it to actually matter with everything else happening on the show. It would have either overshadowed something or it would have not been given the attention that it needed to be given, because Jacob Fatu gets turned on by the bloodline. Everybody's got to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? And there's just no time to do that.
Right.
We've seen glimpses of Jacob having some sort of honor. We've seen glimpses of Jacob having some sort of fallout with the bloodline. It's back and forth. This has been a really, really, really drawn out in the Triple H fashion, drawn out, storyline where Solo and Tama know something that Jacob doesn't. But we're going into this match with two, and we just talked about it with Damian, two relatively protected guys. Like Jacob is extremely protected. LA Knight, he's only taken like one L this year.
I mean, to Shinsuke and then he won it back.
Yeah, he's like he's only taken one L. So like he's relatively, for a mid Carter, protected. Meelz like not he's not Damian level. He's not Damian levels,
and he's popular. He's over. So
and it's going to be a test in Vegas because I think Jacob might be more popular than him. You know what I mean? And I think this is. I don't know if these styles match. I will say this.
I probably would have said that last year, but then LA Knight and AJ Styles did surprise me last year.
True.
But I don't think we've seen like a long form Jacob Fatu straight up singles match since he's got to WWE, and them doing it on WrestleMania is actually quite bold. So, but I don't think this is a match that people are coming for realistically anyway. So is this the crowning of Jacob Fatu? Do we do this here? Do we keep it on LA Knight? Do we keep a steady course at LA Knight?
I'm gonna be real. This LA Knight reign has felt transitional from the moment he won it back to me. So the moment he won it back, I was like, I know he's gonna lose it at WrestleMania because it just doesn't. He hasn't been out of the orbit of these guys since January. It does seem like they're gonna crown Jacob Fatu, which also like. Here's the thing. If Jacob Fatu wins this after WrestleMania, now the US title will be tangled in bloodline business. Whereas people like Miz and Mello and all them people, they'll need the title and they won't be able to get it because it's gonna be tied up with guys that don't lose very often. And that's Solo and Jacob.
If he feuds with Solo while having this title, I think you're pretty much saying
Solo's gonna win.
No, I think you're pretty much saying it's a mid-card feud.
Yeah.
I don't think they want the optic. I don't think Jacob Fatu will hold it as long. Because I don't think they want to feud over the United States Championship. I think when they do their bloodline thing, this will probably around SummerSlam. They're gonna want to do it, on a much bigger, have it feel a lot more bigger. So I don't really know. I think all these title reigns are pretty transitional. Listen, man, LA Knight need to take that spinning solo from Miro anyway. So maybe LA Knight wins this.
maybe, but also, I mean, to your point, I mean, it could be Jacob and Miro. You know what I mean? That could be the next thing if that's what they want to do. Again, it's hard to call it, because if Jacob does win, it's tied up in bloodline shit, and those guys don't lose often. You know what I mean? Like I can't see many people in that roster that aren't Cody, Roman, anybody, you know what I'm saying, actually pinning these guys or getting a title off of them in any fashion. So like, if you're thinking that it's time to crown him, sure, but I don't honestly think Jacob needs a title to be as popular as he is right now. But he also doesn't need to lose. So will this be like a screwy WrestleMania finish, of which we don't get many of those? Would this be one where there is a DQ or something like that happens?
Right.
Or maybe we're just overthinking it and Jacob Fatu is going to win it. like honestly, it might just be as simple, as predictable as it needs to be.
Yeah, let's go Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better that way.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just as, I mean, you get the rub from LA Knight. LA Knight does not get hurt by losing here. Mm-hmm. He honestly probably should flip, to be honest with you. I think that probably time for him to flip. He's been a babyface for like almost going on 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's probably about time for him to flip. If it was me, I'd probably flip him already. What else is happening on this card? We have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
They be having Rey do some.
Did he have to be on the card? Did he have to be on the card? This happened in night one, by the way.
They must love him. He's always on. He's for sure. No matter what, Rey Mysterio is on the card. Like, no matter if it's some stupid LWO tag match, he's facing the sun, if he's getting beat by Samoa Joe in 8 seconds, he's on the card. Like, so Rey Mysterio, I think they're just like, they probably have too many partnerships tied up with him to not be on the card.
Yeah. This shit about to be sponsored by goddamn Sinners, bitch. In theaters now. Listen, is this the moment where Chad gets unmasked? I think that's really just what we're trying to see here.
Yeah, I would say so. This should be it.
And Ray don't take many L's, period. Well, he does take mad L's, but lately he hasn't. Do you think he wins here? Is Chad get, because I feel like it's a big like throwing water on the whole program if Chad gets unmasked here. I feel like they want to stretch this out for another 6 weeks.
That would be wild. No, unmask him here. This is WrestleMania. Like,
yeah.
I don't see why you would wait any longer, or extend this feud any longer, to be honest with you. Yeah, I would, to be honest, I guess Ray wins. I feel good. Ray wins. I don't know. Like, that's what I would say. There's not much to this feud. It's pretty straightforward. People are in their feels about it. You're gonna be really in your feels for WrestleMania. But yeah, I could see Rey Mysterio doesn't win, but I could see him winning.
Yeah, I could see him winning too.
He loses.
I can see him winning too. I always thought that ultimately the whole key of this would be that Gable finds a way to beat Luchadors and it circles back around to Penta one day and he gets his win back on Penta, or they do like a elongated feud. Like, I've always thought that was kind of the idea, but we'll see if that happens, because it seems like Penta's like bound for bigger and better things. And honestly, losing to Chad Gable is probably beneath his status right now on the show. Like
Right.
he's like upper mid card at this point, and Chad Gable's like firmly where he is. Next up, a match that's getting a little bit of controversy. It's going to be on have they announced what? Oh yes, on night one. Tag team title match for the World Tag Team Championships, the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. I don't know. If I'm a writer for SmackDown and I'm the guy who writes the tag teams, I'm feeling a type of way. I'm feeling a type of way because I wrote a bunch of creative that went from November all the way up to this point. What, 5 teams, I think 4 or 5 teams, all intertwining with each other at any given moment, having storylines, having week to week things going on a already bloated ass show that's too long, and we're padding out a lot of it. I'm just being real. The tag teams are padding out a lot of it with their storylines. They're getting over. Things are mattering. You had a huge title change overseas a couple of weeks ago that people reacted to and they were happy about.
Right.
The big match seems to be the Motor City Machine Guns, who came in and won the titles in their first month, and the Street Profits, who won their titles for the first time in 4 years. That's the big match. It doesn't need to be that fucking heavy. Instead, we get the New Day, who have, segment aside, largely been floundering and just doing whatever the fuck, nothing on this show.
Yeah.
Raw tag teams.
You don't even they're the tag team champions.
Yeah, like I have no clue who are the other tag teams on this division except for these two. I guess LWO and the American Alpha, who they've beaten, but no one really gives a shit. And you give it to the division that has no stories whatsoever right now.
They must be doing something here. I'm assuming something's happening here.
And if they don't, then what do we say?
Yeah, then there's some bullshit, is what we say. But unless Snoop is in this match.
Stop putting Snoop in everything.
Snoop gotta be, bro. Snoop makes it happen.
Stop putting Snoop in everything.
Moment, like,
is it a Biggie moment? Does Biggie cost them the titles? Does something crazy like that happen? I don't know, but I don't think there's been built up to for something like that to happen. They don't talk shit about Biggie every week.
No, not at all.
They don't call him out.
This is true. It's true. Yeah, I'm confused why this is on this card. This could have very well been on Raw this week.
It was on Raw. It's the AEW dynasty problem. This could have been on TV. I feel like that is where I will have my argument where, like, okay, you could have put Lyra on here. You could, well, I mean, Lyra is on here, shit. But you could have put something else on here. You know what I mean? Like it boggles the imagination how the SmackDown tag teams did not get this look. And I just think Street Profits deserve it. I think Motor City deserves it. I think DIY deserves it. I think all of those guys that worked so hard to get these tag titles over and feel like something on this show, they deserve this match. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. I do not think, Meelz, I do not think the New Day needs these tag titles. I do not think it is purposeful. I will agree that I do think maybe a guest or a special person does stop this from happening, but I do think the Viking Raiders will probably retain these titles at WrestleMania.
It probably feels like they probably owe Viking. They probably told War Raiders like 8 times over, y'all gonna be on WrestleMania. Just wait. And New Day, there's got to be some branding. So I don't get it either, but they're here. Fuck it, black men on pay-per-views.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not those matches. I don't know. So does it really count? Can we get through the most vanilla match that I don't care about for sure on this card?
With AJ Logan?
AJ Logan, man. What is this? Who's this for? Not my demographic.
It's no heat on this. It's probably like the least excited AJ Styles match I've ever been excited for.
This is like a cycled Logan feud of the same brand. It's like a new flavor of Prime.
I don't know how he's run out of creative so fast that is interesting. And I think it's because he spends large portions of the year not on the show.
Yeah. So when you integrate them, you kind of have to reheat them,
Yeah.
and then do the same thing over again. But he was on Rumble. Did he do Elimination Chamber this year? I think
Yeah, he did.
he did. And then he's just kind of like here. Honestly, you could have slotted AJ Styles and Logan Paul, or two peas in the pod of just like niggas you just have to slot anywhere on WrestleMania
Yeah,
somehow.
I'll have a match. It'll be good. I think it'll be fine. I just don't care. I
I
just
can
don't care.
Many AJ Styles other than Shinsuke. I can't think of many AJ Styles matches that I cared about going into WrestleMania. He
Shane.
Shane was cool. Shane was cool.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Shinsuke and Shane. But other than that, I mean, it's been the
Well,
Taker hair going in, but it ended up becoming better leaving.
yeah, like, I think of all the matches we might be eating our words with this one for sure.
Okay.
Like we're shitting on it right now. We
course.
may eat crow come Monday. I'm completely settled in that.
Styles
But
is hyperbaric chamber somewhere.
yeah, but like
Muscles or something.
it'll end up being like the full on kind of, indie AEW type shit that people love. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be that. They're both talented fucking guys.
Yeah.
I just think with Logan Paul after this, what do? I think he's gonna win. I fully think he's gonna win.
It depends who wins the main event, huh? You could really do a Logan Paul versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso picking up that victory.
You could.
Be honest, it'd be the same thing. Like no one really believes Logan Paul will win or lose anything. So it's kind of like you need a essentially new or more exciting creative for him. Something a little bit more, but less surface level than
He
what
needs to be on the show. We've gotten a Logan Paul title run, which is crazy to even say that we've gotten a Logan Paul title run because he still wasn't on the show when he had it.
Yeah.
And he even had defenses again. Like it just didn't matter. Like it's like he feels like still like he's like play wrestling. You know what I mean? Like he still feels like he's play wrestling, even though you could tell he has a great respect for the art of it. There's week to week stuff that he's not doing that is really hindering the care for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and his development overall as a character on this show, or some sort of presence on this show. So yeah, I truly don't care for this match, and I don't know who wins. I'm gonna choose AJ. I'm assuming AJ got something going on, but AJ
He's on the way out.
Yeah, but it can't be on the way out this year. You have to be on his way out next year.
Yeah.
Nigga. Jeff Jarrett found that out the hard way, man.
I don't think this will be the last match these two have against each other. That's why I say Logan wins.
Sidebar. This is tangent. What do you think about The Rock in New Japan? What do you think about that? Is this one of The Rock's doing shit?
No, I don't think I hate to be on the side of the Rock Riders right here.
The Rock Riders is crazy.
Of the the Dwayne disciples. I hate to be on there.
Right?
Yeah. He don't do anything for no reason. I'm certain that there is a reason for what he's doing. And if that is the case, if I am Tony Khan, I would be very afraid of anything that happens with New Japan after July in Forbidden Door.
I think Meltzer was trying to put two and two together with Jeff Cobb coming to WWE and New Japan and all this other stuff like that, which is funny. But The Rock don't do nothing for no reason, man. He don't wear shirts for no reason, bro.
Yeah, he don't wear shirts for anything he not getting a bag off of. Under Armour, anything like anything he got on is because he wearing he getting a bag for it or spent the bag on it.
Yeah,
and that little penny ante ass pro wrestling tees ass tee that he fucking direct shipped to his house. He for sure wearing that shit for a reason. So,
well, you print that shit out and say, put a Brahma Bull on that bitch.
But if you're New Japan and you're just waiting to see kind of the smoke clear from the TKO deal and Vince being gone and Triple H being the guy and how they treat Japanese talent and how they treat talent that comes from international and how they develop talent and stuff like that. And then you look at AEW and what they've done for you, you're not kind of seeing, you know what I'm saying, seeing the tea leaves there. Like you're not trying to.
The AEW be loaning, like they just be Wrestle Kingdom, whatever they did after Wrestle Kingdom, which I already forgot the name of whatever that pay-per-view was, Wrestle Dynasty.
Yeah, Wrestle Dynasty.
Whatever it is. But yeah, they should be very afraid of The Rock's wearing a New Japan shirt.
Yeah, and
That
New Japan's posting him.
Wednesday.
Yeah, New Japan's posting him. Like I've always said this. We said this on the show. I don't know what New Japan gets. I don't know what New Japan gets from this deal at all.
Hey man, New Japan need help.
Like all they got, huh?
I said New Japan needs help, and there's only one brand that could truly help them.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only one brand that could help develop, their people. I think that if New Japan and WWE team up, the IWC will melt down. They have no more safe spaces anymore at all. They will melt down. I want to see it for that reason alone. So,
who else we got on this card? We got 2 more matches, I believe.
We have the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match between Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. I would have to say some pretty good storylines developed all around on all of these. Of course, we're combining 2 different storylines: the Judgment storyline as well as the Penta and Braun storyline, which they've just began last month. And combining these 2 into one match, good idea. These guys can bring it. You know what I mean? Dominic has gotten so much better in the ring. Braun is Braun. Penta is the hottest thing in WWE right now. And you got Dominic, who's a heat magnet. Any moment it looks like he's going to win that title, people
Absolutely.
they're going to react.
I think he's gonna win it.
I don't know. It goes along with the Snake storyline. It goes along with the Snake storyline. So him winning it by pinning Finn, or there being a moment where Finn is down and Dom has to make that decision, is also equally as good. I'm gonna go out on an unpopular opinion here, and I think Braun's gonna win this match. I think Braun is just he's had the title for a while, but I don't think he's had like that singular defense yet. This match could be that, and I'm hoping that they give him his first Mania win, and I think that'd be cool.
I think Dom's gonna win it just based on that alone. I also think it advances the Judgment Day storyline, which I guess needs a few more legs to continue on. And they need a notable win, to be honest with you. Like, they need a notable win, and if it doesn't come from Finn, I think it helps blow Finn up a little bit further. So I think I'm gonna go with Dominic Mysterio on this one. I think that's he might have the highest odds out of all these 4, but I think I'm gonna go with him.
Now we haven't even talked about Penta. We know he's gonna do his thing. I foresee tag titles for him before I see singular title for him. Who knows if they do another draft? They just did like a mini one. I would probably do another draft because there needs to be some things shaken up. I think that the mini draft they did just only served to make things more confusing and stupid across the shows because none of the shit was clear. But I would move Phoenix over to Raw immediately and get that tag division rolling with those 2. Like that'd be the biggest tag team since the Hardy Boys if they were able to get the Lucha Brothers back.
Netflix is gonna be super happy about that. Like, Netflix is doing, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think the match is going to be stellar, though. Again, there's a lot of matches on here that like we may have to eat crow about, but like I'm actually looking forward to this because I want to see Penta's entrance. I want to see, what Dom's going to do. I want to see all of that stuff. This is going to be a lot of pageantry, and I think they're really going to bring it here. I think Penta has done nothing but overachieve. I think he's over-indexed what WWE probably thought he would do. And I want to see what they do with him going forward. But I don't think Intercontinental title. I don't think he needs it yet. I think Braun definitely needs to keep that and have that one singular defense. I think he hasn't gotten that yet.
Right. No, for sure. And then final match. What do we got here?
The final match is going to be. Am I blind?
The just announced on Friday.
Women's
decided
tag
on women's tag team match.
Lara looked like the best women's wrestler in the world on Friday. She was doing all types of shit, power bombing hoes, deadlifting hoes.
I was like, do I not care about this women's tag team division? Because why did they just show up and just immediately look better than everybody else?
I mean, they're nerfing KC2. You know what I mean? The TikTok tag team, shit like that. Like, it's cool. It's cool that Bailey's on the show. Bailey's on the card. Of course, it's her and Lyra versus Liv and Raquel. What a year for Liv, circling right back around to this WrestleMania. What
Yeah,
a
for
year for her.
and
Um,
Rocky her debut on WrestleMania. I think this was her first time. Actually, no, she might have been on it
no,
last.
was she on it last year? I thought she was on it
I,
last year.
so I think she was on it last year because I'm assuming she would have been teaming with Liv last year as well. Uh,
Let's see. Damn. There's a lot of
a lot
there
of
was a lot of niggas on here. No.
oh
Nope.
no,
Mm-mm.
no. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, Raquel, we could have put her in the run, I guess. Yeah.
Was she on
Um,
39? Was she on 39? She wasn't on 39?
no, 39 was too far back. She was probably on
No,
stand delivery.
she was on 39 with Liv.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So you know what? Fair. Look at that. Look how time is just circling
Liv,
back.
but the thing is, Liv was injured and she came back uh after Mania.
Look at these teams on 39. Ronda and Shayna, Natalia, Shotzi, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Look at it. Tag team vision. Is, the time is a square for them.
They just swap teammates.
Yeah. Anyway, Liv and Raquel's gonna win.
Yeah, I think Liv and Raquel wins. I think there's a bigger story to be told with Lyra and Bailey, and I hope that we get to that. I think the IC title is going to start to heat up. I've had no listen, man. Lyra eats up, man. I have no complaints about her title defenses. She defends it more than like some of the niggas do.
And the
Um,
crowd is starting to do the bird thing now. So
yeah.
you know, it's good. She's gonna be with Bailey, consummate professional. Liv and Raquel, they got some good energy right now. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is who do you think is gonna steal the show? Because I think this is actually gonna be a sneaky fire match.
I think
Like,
this is gonna be sneaky fire as well. I think still the show worthy is. Like I said, I think we're severely underestimating AJ Logan.
mm.
I'll say that. But I think this is probably the four-way. The four-way we expect it to be good, and I think that I feel like we might have that expectation going into it when it might be just good. But I think this one definitely has the ability.
What if Damian Drew do some PWG shit?
It's completely possible. Like I think Damian too old to be doing that flip off the rope shit. He need to stop doing that shit. But it's
Hey
completely
man,
possible.
Mania, you got to do it.
But
You
it
got
depends on
in and everything like that, bro. You gonna be up.
if they get the time. They have to get the time to get these matches over. If they get the time to do it, then I think it's definitely possible. If they don't get the time, if they get like 8 minutes, I don't think it's possible. You know what I mean? Like it just depends on who gets the time because these women are contending against Jade and Naomi, the Charlotte and Tiffany, in the women's triple threat. Like they're facing off against a lot of matches that we already know are going to get time. You know, Charlotte's getting her 20. You know that the triple threat's getting that 20, 25. You know that the other matches are getting that time. Like it's going to be tough.
Absolutely.
So I
That's
think
I think that's the undercard because up next we have the women's main event matches, which is going to be quite a lengthy and fun discussion.
yes, we have a really cool guest for that. We have a really cool guest for the main events, and we have a very special guest that you guys probably would not expect that's going to pop in and join the prediction party for something that I think a lot of people are going to like. So thank you guys for listening. This has been part one of everything, and
Well,
well,
we're transition over into the women's match, and that'll end part one.
yeah, that'll end part one.
We're recording this out of order.
It's all out of order. It's more out of order than it has ever been. But
Right.
it's because of timelines and timing and shit. But we do it for you guys. Thank you guys for listening. We're actually recording from the future, commenting on the past. I think that's what's happening right now. So we're saying bye and enjoy WrestleMania weekend from the future. And the past will also do the same. So thank you guys for listening to this part of the show. We're going to end up part one right now with our special guest talking about the women's matches on WrestleMania 41. Peace out, you guys.